studying is the most amazing opportunity for students. What they learn in a couple of weeks or in a semester would perhaps have taken a couple of years.
Learning outside the classroom, it's amazing. You get to experience something completely different. You're not stuck behind four walls. You're out there. And I guess when you're in Africa too, you're with nature. And it's something that I study and I'm passionate about. So it's something that I got to really benefit from.
We're the only Australian university with access inside the park, and it's usually preserved for foreign institutions such as the Ivy League or elite South African universities. So we're very fortunate.
I take students to Japan. We have a partnership with Major University, and the students not only spend time in Japan engaging in cultural activities, learning about Japan and contemporary issues in Japan, but they also link with students from around the region also in the same program. So I take students on on-site tours. In particular, we visit an NGO, a Japan Forum for International Relations, and there the students meet the president of the NGO and are exposed to the activities of the NGO, promoting Japan and Japanese foreign policy. I also take students to the Australian Embassy, where they meet diplomats, learn about the life of a diplomat in an overseas posting.
We took 10 students to Vanuatu to make 2 short films about community-based adaptation to climate change, and we worked with local communities, indigenous communities, for 1 month, and the students learned not only how to make films, but also a range of experiences about media practices with local communities and understand sustainable development in the real world.
Our students worked with Live and Learn, an international NGO with offices throughout the Pacific. Live and Learn provided them with mentorship, but they also trained them in language, culture and environmental issues. The films are being used by Live and Learn throughout the country to inspire other people to become environmental leaders and champions.
Through the international office, we've got a program called Go Global, which is basically providing students an opportunity to explore and take up those opportunities. So these are short-term programs, there are internship programs, and these are basically all over the world.
When it's organised by the university, it's not like being a tourist. You don't just drop in and you're on holidays. You're actually invited into businesses, into homes, into industries that you just wouldn't get the opportunity to do at any other time.
I think the style of learning is something that should be more widespread if possible. It's not always easy to do that. Some things can only be contained into a classroom, but our lessons were outdoors. We could touch and we could hear and we could smell and we could feel and see. And that way of learning, I think, covers all different styles of learning.
I learnt something really important about how culture shapes our learning, and I was able to take that not just into my bachelor's degree, but I'm also applying it in my Masters of Teaching degree as well. Because speaking to Japanese students, we realised we had such different approaches to the same thing. So knowing how important cross-cultural differences are, but also realising that we can use anything to learn.
Professionally, it was also very extraordinary because the whole experience was like a boot camp of training. Culturally, they saw a community, people that are vastly different to what they have experienced in Australia. Most students study because they want to better themselves, and what came out of the students in Timor-Leste was that they wanted to help their country get out of poverty. That experience, I think, really changed my students and their outlook on the world.
They become much more adaptable in a bigger work environment, and they're much more sought after because they've had this experience. So they become very competitive in a global space as well.
My students have returned from their studies and they can't wait to get working, keep doing more, and that's what employers want. They want motivated students who can think for themselves, that can solve problems, and that they don't have to tell what to do.